for an accident.
Sometimes you hit that and it doesn't go.
Can you please sign me in and put me on the mission? Okay.
Hey, backseaters, we are live on patrol, and Joe Miller is with me today, and we are in the southwest corner of St. Paul by Highland Park. And if you're not from Minnesota, you may not know that we have a tornado watch, but it's the weather report has said there will be tornadoes. It's just a question of where and when. So in the next hour, this weather storm is moving in from northwest Iowa through southwestern Minnesota and then into the Twin Cities. And there have been rotations seen in parts of Minnesota. Actually, there was 2-inch hail. That's the other thing. They were saying 2-inch hail in parts of Iowa. So we're down here at Cretin and Ford Parkway. If you live in the metro area, make a plan. Be sure you're ready to anticipate high winds, large hail. They're saying at least golf ball size, maybe baseball size hail. And be prepared to seek
shelter.
And if you need a couple thousand extra, leave your car out. But if you don't like going through the pain of getting an estimate and getting your car repaired for hail damage, put it inside. If you don't have a place to put it inside, go to the nearby Holiday or Speedway gas station and park underneath the brim there while the hail's coming by. Because this storm is supposed to be for real. Now, you know, all of us have experiences where the weather wasn't as bad as they said, but this one's going to hit somewhere in Minnesota bad. And we've made preparations to help each other. I talked to Sheriff Nuanawit. We're going to go there if they need our help, and they'll come over if we need theirs. I always remember the Washington County Lino Lake / tornadoes that hit up there. That little boy got thrown into the pond.
Yeah, was that how many years ago was that?
That was a while back.
'Cause I was in the jail then, and I didn't even notice.
Sheriff Hutton was the sheriff there. I met him out there. It was a devastating tornado. You go way back when Harmar Mall got hit. But in either case, our metro area seems shielded from tornadoes because they say there's something going on with the disruption of the heat because of the buildings.
Sure, yeah.
But the suburbs can get hit. So they're saying they're predicting an EF2 tornado somewhere.
Wow.
I don't know how they do that.
I don't either, but I remember I was down for the hurricane. That was my last experience with a storm, and I can tell you one thing, I was a little bit nervous with the hurricane. It was my first hurricane, but they also had a record number of tornadoes that same day.
Well, Joel, you backseaters may not know this. We didn't widely publicize it, but Joe and I were in Orlando when the hurricane hit Florida.
Is that Milton or Helene, maybe?
The last one.
Yeah.
And so it moved through from Fort Myers and then east and came right through Orlando. In fact, we were in the eye of the hurricane. There were 130-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes.
Where we were. But Joe was watching the TV, getting a little nervous.
I'm not gonna lie, it was my first hurricane experience, and it ripped from coast to coast, from the Gulf side all the way to the Atlantic side.
And we were south. We were just south of Orlando a little bit, but in Orlando proper, they had 20 inches of rain. It was crazy.
It was.
All the rain. So we had wind, rain, tornadoes. It wasn't good. storm surge turned out to be not as bad as predicted. Remember that guy down there in Tampa that was staying in his boat, refused to get out?
I do.
I think his boat was gone, but he survived.
What
Right?
I think he was nicknamed Lieutenant Dan or something. They called him.
Yeah, Dan something. Anyhow, we're anticipating here by about 5:15. What is that? 4:37. We're anticipating getting hit about 5:15. I hope people make plans. We're down here on the Cleveland and Mississippi River Road, and there is a lot of wind already coming up here. But
Yeah, you can feel it.
strangely, the weather now is 70 degrees here. It's gone.
That's always.
But the temperature has risen since we got picked up by 4 degrees.
Kind of almost humid in a way.
Well, that's what they say. The humidity is, the dew points have been very high, which, according to Sven on Channel 5, it has all the ingredients.
Yeah.
All the ingredients. But Ian Leonard, he was saying somebody's gonna get really hit hard, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
I was just watching him live before we went live.
Yeah.
I'm trying to monitor how far, what the timeline is here.
So a lot of people have asked us, well, how far from the airport are we, and can we see the airport? So actually, we're at the southwest corner of Ramsey County.
We're pretty close.
We're gonna actually take you on it's about 1 mile field trip to the airport. So,
and we do have 2 terminals at this airport. It used to be the Humphrey and Lindbergh, and I still get them mixed up because there's Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. And I think Terminal 1's the main, but I always have to check my app or on my boarding pass to figure out which terminal
1
to
is
go
the
to.
main. Yeah, formerly the Lindbergh terminal. Now Terminal 2, formerly the Humphrey terminal.
Yeah.
Of course, named after Hubert Humphrey, who was Vice President of the United States. But right here, the Mississippi River is the border, and up there on the right, you'll see Fort Snelling. It's got a lot of great history. One of the original forts. If you really study history, it's fascinating how they built these forts to protect the people that were moving here. We're over the Mississippi, just a little bit south of Minneapolis. Oh, there's a plane taking off. You can maybe see.
I think that was Sun Country too.
We will know soon how close the weather is, because the planes will stop flying.
Right. That's another thing. I do not like. I can fly out of a storm, but I don't like flying into a storm.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like storms
I
at all.
don't fly anytime there's bad weather. Put me on the next flight.
I've actually changed my date and flight because of that before.
Looks like they're getting out, but you can see they're taking off to the south now. Well, really, it's kind of southeast, but because the winds are coming from the south, and landing in these crosswinds is really tricky. Really, really tricky. So we'll just run it. Here's Terminal 1. It's going to be crazy how this storm just suddenly is upon us. Delta has a large component here. Of course, their main office is in Atlanta, but Delta bought out Republic in the past. Republic bought out Northwest.
Yeah, thank you. I was just trying to think of that.
Northwest. So Northwest used to be their corporate hub.
Yeah, that was a big airline back in the day.
Yeah. Still, well, if you consider it part of Delta, it's still pretty big. You got the Intercontinental Hotel that's attached to the airport. Vis-a-vis a long walk, and there is a
Skyway.
one of those remote sidewalks over here.
Oh.
So it's not so bad. State of the art airport. non-stops pretty much all over the world.
So this main one has arrivals and departures. I think the other one just has the one, right, where you get dropped off and picked up at the same spot.
Yeah. Well, they have both, but they're not two levels, correct?
Because I made a mistake with somebody picking me up once.
Secret message.
I was at the arrivals. I'm like, I can't find you. Well, I'm here.
When you get off a plane, go to the departures, because there's less lines at departures than there are at arrivals. So, any of this airport, this terminal was in the movie North by Northwest. Cary Grant, an old classic.
Cary Grant's going way.
Cary Grant, North by Northwest.
Not too busy here.
Oh, there's a hug of departure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not busy at all.
Well, I don't think most of these planes got to be canceled for the next 2 hours.
I suppose though.
Oh, look up Google flight departures Minneapolis.
Yeah, good idea.
My wife always does it. There's apparently a website with just flight departures.
Yep.
Terminal 1. So if you just joined us, we are anticipating a significant thunderstorm / tornado / hail event here in the next hour.
Some are canceled, lots of delays.
Well, they always say delay first.
The one to International Falls, canceled. Denver, delayed.
That's good.
A lot of them are on time though. Let's see. Newark, New Jersey, delayed.
So you saw how close the airport is. It really butts up to our city right there, just across the river. It's a very convenient location. Very, very convenient.
Yeah, it's called Minneapolis, MSP Minneapolis St. Paul.
Look at the construction going on out there, man.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while now.
Yeah, Delta everybody wants to expand.
I'm pretty loyal to Sun Country.
You are not. Who are you kidding?
I was waiting for that.
He likes Delta.
Well, it depends.
You like to plug in. You like to have that free Wi-Fi. I'm a Sun Country fan, by the way, folks. I like Sun Country for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's
cheapest,
most inexpensive.
Plus, you can sit in the first 5 rows. It's like they don't have first class, but it's like their version of first class.
A little extra for a little more legroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, Sun Country's a homegrown. The headquarters is right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like buying American, Joe.
Well, you got a point there. I do fly Sun Country when Delta's too expensive. It is nice sitting in the front of a plane, though, too.
You get off a little quicker.
Yes.
So now we're back on the main road. We're gonna get off on Post Road. We're gonna take one of the reasons we want to be out here anyhow. This is where the storm will hit first before it hits Ramsey County. We'll be on the front line out here, and but all indications are this is going to be a significant storm, and it seems to have slowed down a little bit, which is a concern because sometimes when they slow down, they get bigger. Other times, they burn out.
Mankato, St. Peter.
Okay, so we have a friend named Brian Koptic, who is a storm chaser. Look up his page, will you? Is Brian on YouTube? Brian Koptic. You get some of you backseaters have heard us talk to him. He was in Iowa today. There was a tornado in Sioux City, which was on the western part of Iowa. He was going up to Spencer, Iowa.
Oh yeah, I did see him.
Brandon Koptic, storm chaser. See if he's still alive.
He appears to be alive here. 147. Oh, do I have the right one? Let's just go with live.
Good night. 148.
He is an amazing storm chaser.
152.
152.
154.
He might be in Iowa right now.
He is. Well, he is. What's his page called?
Minnesota, Iowa tornado outbreak live storm chaser.
What's his name?
Storm chaser Brandon Kopic.
Oh,
Is
he live now?
appears to be live, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's call him.
Fletcher's
Let's call him. Turn that one down.
I didn't know you knew him that well.
Oh yeah.
Hey Bob, what's happening?
Brandon, how are you? We are live, and I just we're about an hour out from our storm, but I wanted to tell our viewers that they could tune into you. Where are you at down there?
I just got into Minnesota. I'm down by this tornado warning down by Blue Earth. Just debating on what to do at this point. I'm south of the storm, but the storm's just moving so fast I might end up moving further south. The storm's into northern Iowa at this point.
Really?
The environment's looking really good up north, but everything's kind of lining out, and the storm motion is just super fast.
It is, okay. Well, I'm glad
It
to hear you
actually
say
looks
that.
like you guys are going to luck out completely because the only discrete storm is going north of you guys, and the line's actually going to pass south. So, which is weird, but the Minneapolis-St. Paul Metro might not even see rain.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you guys are right in between the two areas of interest. I mean, there is a storm to the south, and everything could develop more, but the current track of storms actually keeps Minneapolis in the clear.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, if people want to see firsthand, they can go to your page, Brian Kopic Storm Chaser, right, on YouTube.
Yep, Storm Chaser Brandon Kopic on YouTube. I'm live right now with 7,100 people watching.
That's cool. 7,100. So backseaters, tune in for a little bit on Brandon's page. 7,100 people watching. And you want to tell us where you've been here in the last couple of weeks?
Literally everywhere. Pretty much every significant tornado that's been on the news, I have been the one that filmed it.
And I saw you're on Fox a lot, so you're kind of contract with Fox now?
Yeah, I work with Fox Weather. Yep.
Cool. All right, well, if you get something good, we'll be watching.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks.
You guys be safe up
Thanks,
there.
Brandon.
If
Thank
need
you.
anything, give me a shout.
Thank you. Bye.
See you, bud.
Was assaulted by the caretaker who lives on the third floor. Another flood.
So some of you know that we have kept in touch with Brandon over the years, and whenever he roams through the city, try to meet him. He's an expert storm chaser, working with Fox Weather now. This is Terminal 2 over here. There are not two levels, just one. But Brandon seems to think we're not going to get too much.
Yeah, it's kind of encouraging or news to hear.
Yeah, well, that would be great. That would be great. But you better turn Ian Lennon back on and find out where he thinks. Do you want to see if she needs help with her bags?
I think she's waiting for it to get picked up. But this car only goes one place, right?
That's right. There's a problem.
Yeah, I forget. I usually fly during the daytime, but this is not busy at all. Or early morning, but maybe it's always like this, huh?
Right outside the Dick's entrance inside the mall.
I suppose it's different during like spring break. But
Start to 278 location 933
Well, that'd be interesting if we end up avoiding most of it, huh? But look over there. It doesn't look too good, does it?
yeah, no, it does not.
And for those of you that want to come and visit us someday, the airport here, and a lot of you say we want to fly in someday, the airport is, like you say, right next to St. Paul, just a mile across the bridge. If you come in on Terminal 2, you'll be just a little further, but not much further. And if you come in on Terminal 1, that's very close. And here's the other benefit. Any hotel in this immediate proximity is right by the Mall of America.
Mm-hmm.
Come on in and hang out at the Mall of America. Right here, Delta Chicago Cargo, right there. That's where Rocco got shipped in.
Oh, your
Maybe
dog.
Rocco. That's where we picked up Rocco, Delta Cargo.
Huh.
Yep. Just a little baby. Got shipped in.
Now, how does Rocco do in storms?
He hates it. He hates it.
Most dogs do not like
Oh
storms.
man, he hates it. Once he goes in the basement. Goes in the basement and he hides. Actually, I told my wife she's got to go down there with him if the tornado comes. Rocco knows the safest place.
He does.
Well, if the storm doesn't hit, we'll have to do a little crime fighting. We do have people staged to help. We've been, our department has been all over the state helping. Rushford, Minnesota, St. Peter, Minnesota, after a tornado here hit their Gustavus office.
That. Yeah.
Moorhead, that was the floods.
Remember that one too.
So, you know, when you have one of the largest departments in the state, you have an obligation to help others. And that is what we try to do.
Yeah, that was a big one. The Katrina, or not the Katrina one, but the St. Peter one.
Yeah, that was. Well, remember when the straight line winds hit the Como Park area?
They do.
Oh man,
Yeah, a lot of stuff was
We
down.
were out there sawing logs all day to clear roads, clear yards. We just got a bunch of chainsaws and 20 of us went out there and just started cutting logs.
2023.
Is that Marson?
No. I don't know who that would be.
2023, go ahead. Yeah, the female half of that
Oh, sure.
that's Sheller.
will be on the 5th floor and 345 cedar.
That's the Revs building.
The Rev and Schiller are staying till the storm's over, just in case people need any help.
5522 status.
But I'm a little surprised it hasn't hit.
I got Ian Leonard on in the background here.
Well, turn him up.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to.
No, you are. You are allowed to. Ian's gonna understand.
814 going to be clear.
So we're in a weird spot here for the Doppler unit.
Yeah, it's a very weird spot.
Yeah, we're north of the Doppler unit. This is all
Turn up a little.
moving away. So we start to interpret the colors. We invert them once we get on the other side of the Doppler. It just looks like some decent wind.
Well, I would go a little farther to the southwest. If you can pull the map to the west to show west of Princeton, that's kind of where the circulation is. That's why it's interesting, because the circulation looks a little removed from the rain itself. It's like it's being kind of pulled away.
Randy's
So if
a
you can move,
weather guy now.
and zoom back in.
This guy here?
And you can always take weather 2, because I've got it pulled up.
Yeah, I don't
Go
know.
ahead,
Oh,
take
maybe
Cody's
it's the
weather
other guy.
computer right now as I get things all squared away here.
Yeah, there you go. Kind of in there. So there's this just generic circulation, but you look and it's just on the southern kind of fringe of your reflectivity.
Look
there,
at
so
those
your
clouds
color.
out there, though.
So it may be really close to Princeton. That's what's giving me pause.
Yeah, and if it would be winds, well, you know, you'd be looking at very strong circulation type winds, maybe 50, 60, 70 miles per hour.
Yeah, which can, you know, do some damage, and you don't want to be outside for either way.
Yeah, broad rotation.
Yeah.
Weird spot for this in terms of Doppler and using Doppler velocity. But in the background, if you take your scope off, Cody, that black outline,
That's
that's the tornado warning.
Yeah.
Valid until 5:15 for Isanti and Mille Lacs
So what's
counties.
worse,
Again,
tornado
this is
warning
like
or tornado watch?
Yeah, I still
Warning.
think this
Warning,
spot
right?
Warning
there,
means
where
there's
you would find a
it's
tornado. If
been
there was
observed.
one.
I always get them mixed up.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on board.
Keep that volume up. We want to keep listening to those
Scope
guys.
it, see if anything showed up with the new scan.
Sure.
When I say scope it, and for everyone at home, you're like, what are they doing? Basically, it gives us an idea. This is Doppler velocity, and I mentioned this earlier. When
By
you're
the way,
standing
this
next to
is
a
the Mall of
highway,
America right out here by the
it goes,
airport.
And the pitch.
Stay in one of the two hotels here. We got the Marriott, and we got the Radisson Blue attached there.
But we're looking at
You can walk right to the mall and
suspended in the atmosphere.
lose your wallet.
And hail. and we look
Well,
at
by
whether
that I
it's moving
mean
away or
spend all the money.
Yeah,
to find
yeah.
the degree of
I know what you meant.
3 floors of glorious shopping.
way inside the weeds, and I get it, but it's something
Couple
that
extra
we use
floors
to
of entertainment.
So there is a degree of broad
Is it
rotation.
Nickelodeon Universe?
Sure.
When it first opened, it was Knott's Camp Snoopy, which was kind of a fun place for kids. Still is.
Yeah, and I mean, you definitely.
Well, now it's Nickelodeon, yeah.
Very evidence is strong, because even if you have mid and upper level rotation, that's gonna give you the rotation and the strength you need to.
Those
to
clouds
keep
up
this
ahead
thing
in the
going, and I
picture,
don't-
you can kind of
shows
see
no
them.
signs of
You
stopping.
can.
Straight ahead, you can tell
If you're
there's
rolling this to the
some
northeast,
clouds
I'll
off
zoom
to
this
our
out.
west.
Gotta look for that
Be
bow echo.
shocked to see even more.
Canadian, Springdale,
Yeah.
up toward more eventually toward 35. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Strong storm here, folks.
You know, they got great security here at the Mall of America. Supplemented with the Bloomington Police Department.
For folks in the booth, and fair warning to everybody
But,
of our technical side who have been incredible.
Well, they
today.
actually have facial recognition out here.
Everybody in the newsroom.
They got good
Identify any potential warrants or gangsters.
Won't be going anywhere. We'll stay with you through this evening as the storm.
He said he won't be going anywhere.
Off to the north end of the northeast. So from
If you drive
Cody's
underneath
computer there,
this,
that's weather
make sure you
two.
tap
Bring
this
me back to weather one. I want
thing
to
when
give
you go by.
a look here at the overall
That seems a lot
view
lower
this
than
evening
or like
as
yeah,
the
lower than
storm
what it probably is, but
continues off to the north end of the
it looks like we're gonna hit it,
From
but
Cody's computer there, that's weather two. Bring me back to weather one. I want to give one last look here at the overall view. Remember, we had a new tornado watch that was issued for the metro. That's the large red box that is in place until 11 p.m. But the 11 p.m. part is talking about here, the eastern extent of the box. The storms are rolling now toward
Plenty
the
of parking
metro
out here.
north and south. At that point, once the storms move past the metro, we stay with them both online and on the air as we move through this evening. Tornado warnings, don't worry.
Tornado warnings.
Sandy and Sherburne counties to the north, and then well to the south, including Glenmont counties.
What do you think,
stretching
Joel?
across
I don't think many people
All
parked up here on level
tornado
6
warnings right
today.
now are
no.
I think everybody's home.
reports of touchdowns. Severe thunderstorm warning south of the
It's been a
metro.
while since we used to recover stolen cars out of here every now and then from
It is still going
tied to
be
our
very bumpy night.
kids that
As I
we've
mentioned earlier, not
arrested.
for everybody, but those
Well,
who
there's
have
the
storms
storm out to
will
the
have, some vivid storm memories for years to come. It is a very
out to the west, folks.
bumpy ride. I want you all to stay sky
just-
aware.
we're
as we
sky
head through
aware
this
there,
evening.
Ian,
And of
sky
course,
aware.
We'll have the latest for you.
Fetch saves me money every
That's all
time
right.
I shop.
That's all right.
Both
Where's Skyway? Well, we got everything we're going to get out of him. You should go to Channel 11, see what Belinda's saying.
You gotta check in with Bell.
Check in with Bell.
Yeah.
So we are on the 6th floor of the Mall of America, we're looking southwest toward the storm that's supposed to bring tornadoes.
Bravo 349 WOT.
You can see the clouds out to the west, folks. It's a lot of wind here. It's an eerie sight, isn't it, Joe?
It is eerie.
Still says the threat of tornado in the Twin Cities is 4 out of 5. But you see that break here that Brandon was talking about? We're right in between two.
See 530.
But you see that?
Mhm.
You see the two? Brandon Koptic was saying that storms separating a little bit, and I think that's what he was saying. We might only get, Jesus, I don't know.
Yeah, one goes this way, one goes north.
But it looks like it's filling out.
Like splitting the Red Sea almost
Yeah.
between the metro.
But it looks like south of us doesn't look too good, right?
No.
And they were saying Princeton was getting hit with some circulation. North of us is Princeton, Minnesota. There's some heavy rain out there, though. You can't even see across the river any longer over there to the left, right?
Is that rain, you think? It looks like it.
Yeah, that's rain over there. So,
What we're seeing on radar right here, the worst part of the storm where a tornado might be is right here. So there's
Princeton.
There's 169.
Princeton along Highway 169.
There's Highway 95.
If you're in that area and you see something, comment on the thread here. Comment on the thread that you're.
Mean a tornado on the ground, but a funnel cloud was
You see the
reported
funnel
just
cloud up
above
there?
the
Let us
Princeton
know.
area. And there's not a ton of communities out here, but if you're in the Carmody area, system moving through at least where that funnel was reported in about 6 minutes or so, and if it holds together, it will move through the day at about 5:14. So we still have this tornado warning that includes County.
So let us know how the weather is where you're at. We are in Bloomington here, just southwest of St. Paul.
The Princeton area, just north of downtown Princeton. But look at this. Around the Twin
Not too
Cities,
far from the old Met Center.
It's remarkable. I mean,
Look at there's a gap. Like you said, there's a gap.
Well, we would tell people that there's going to be severe weather, right? There should be some severe weather, but at this point, it's kind of luck that we're missing out on the severe stuff. And I might go out on a limb and just say that the Twin Cities probably going to miss this. 494, 694 core. It doesn't.
Well,
look
that Brandon
much
was
of
spot
anything.
on.
So you can breathe a sigh of relief. That's the good news for now. Doesn't mean that something might crop up, but you can see we're in this gap right here.
We're in the gap.
That doesn't include anything. There's one little cell that's moving through Wright County. Downtown Buffalo, it's pouring right now.
Downtown Buffalo, it says you're pouring out there in Wright County.
This one tornado warning.
Sheriff
over
Sean.
Lax County, just north of the Princeton area. That tornado warning storm is just saying that there's rotation and one report of a funnel cloud in that area, but no confirmed tornado on the ground.
I gotta admit, this has been a strange weather day,
Right?
right?
You get south of Lakeville.
It has.
Once you get close
South of Lakeville, and it's Faribault hitting down southern Minnesota.
This is your classic.
It's weird how you have the two little cells or bands, one southwest and then northwest, the Twin Cities.
Clearwater Beach, I think you're out of the line of fire. Susie Larson, I don't think it's going to get you.
Yeah.
It's not Fairmont anymore because it's exiting the Fairmont area, but we do have this extended tornado warning right here. That continues until 5:45 as well.
Lake City,
So that system, we got a lot on the map.
I know, I'm sorry. It's basically for Martin and Waseca County.
Sure.
And it is radar indicated. There we go.
Radar indicated.
Yes, there we go.
That says observed. Is that something new?
Yeah, that's your newest warning.
Newest warning. Just got a report.
Newest warning.
Tornadoes on the ground between Winnebago and Blue Earth.
Oh, that's south.
Blue
Yeah,
Earth.
that's by Mankato.
So this is some new information that we're getting.
Not
If
that
you're
far,
just
so.
joining us, we are tracking some severe weather that's happening across southern Minnesota right now. Right now, we do have a report of a confirmed tornado on the ground. In fact, two tornadoes on the ground between Winnebago and Blue Earth.
Winnebago, Blue Earth, supposedly 2 tornadoes on the ground.
And
If you're in those things and you're aware of them,
the one to our south, that's for sure. That's where there was more
update
sunshine
us
today.
here with
That's where there
some
was
comments.
More potential. We did not break out and see the sun here in the metro today, and that could have been part of the reason that we have this.
just so you know, that Blue Earth
not much,
area
but
that
there
you're
it
talking about
You
is
can see that we're
further
just kind of,
south of us. And as I
right
turn the
between
car a
there
little
and the
bit,
Twin Cities as well.
you can
There's
see how
nothing here,
dark it
but
is
storms
out
to our
there.
south, storms to our north. Tornado warnings to
In
our
that
south.
one, it's
and
further
tornado warnings
south.
to our north right now as we speak, and two tornadoes on the ground between Winnebago and Blue Earth County.
2 tornadoes on the ground. And those look like they're moving where?
About as far south as we've sent a reporter so far. Let's go live to her and hear what's going on down there. What's happening, Morgan?
Hey, we have the sirens going off again. This is the second time within an hour that we have heard these sirens. A lot of heavy rain has returned to downtown Mankato, and of course the wind, the thunder, the lightning. That's why
she's down in
we're staying
Mankato.
safe under a parking ramp right now, actually right next to the police station.
Well, in
if you can
fairness,
see
you
those
better go over to
flags,
Channel
that
4
give you
now,
an
see what
idea
they're
of
saying on
what it
Channel
is
4.
like, really big gusts. I mean, one.
Well, they got another siren going down there in Mankato.
Sorry, which one's?
Joe Kill sent me a message. Wherever he's at, it's nice and sunny.
Yeah, I think we're just going to barely escape. But looks like south of us, everywhere from the Iowa border to Stillwater is going to get hit hard, especially anywhere from Rochester to, what's the name of that little town right across from Hastings in Wisconsin?
Prescott.
Prescott. Looks like Prescott's going to take a beating.
That's the safest spot to be. But Delavan, really in the next 5 minutes.
This is a better radar here on Channel 4.
At 5:15, that's a community that I'm not personally familiar with. I apologize if I mispronounce that.
Waseca, I think.
Minnesota Lake, we have a weather watcher. Again, please be safe. No one is worth
We're watching all the weather channels for you. We're talking to the storm chaser, Brandon Kopchick. We got all your best news.
New Richland at 5:41.
And we're at the Mall of America, perched on 6th floor, looking out to the southwest.
You know, when I was in Skills, we actually had a whole week. It was called Skywarn. was a class on weather. I was always wondering why we had to learn this or do that. But it was called Skywarn. It was a whole class for a week.
What's this guy saying? Baldwin, Wisconsin?
Track on this one for you as well. It is looking a little more ragged at this point, but nevertheless, it has the potential as it crosses Highway 169 to create
a different Baldwin.
Tornado spin up, if not a wall cloud, and it is moving also.
That's the one that was in Princeton, I think.
50 or so miles an hour. As promised, that storm track coming your way right now. This is the.
Don't those clouds over there though look?
No, you're right. There is a Baldwin, but it's not Baldwin, Wisconsin.
And wall cloud were being reported, and so the strongest part of the storm headed right into.
I'll be right back.
The next few minutes.
Whoa! If the wind doesn't blow me down, Joe.
This is not the only storm that we're watching. There are a few just to the west of the immediate Twin Cities metro area. You can see right now all the active thunderstorm activity, or I should say all the active warning activity, is just south of the Twin Cities, and it's all headed toward this point on the map. That's Albert Lee, and that's where meteorologist Lisa Meadows has been with the next weather tracker for the entire afternoon, keeping an eye on conditions in our south part of the state. Lisa?
Lisa Meadows, thank you very much.
Got back into the next weather tracker. We are in Albert Lee, like I said. So we are to the south of where that tornado warning is. The reports that actually you were just talking about.
Now we got Lisa Meadows down in
Bravo 204.
The next weather tracker.
Where is she?
Albert Lee, I think.
Can I borrow this for a little bit?
Yeah.
Approaching Clark's Grove right now.
Transit car or transit car near Mankato. Before there's a group out here on the light rail that agitated. The grass was starting to fight.
That you guys were just talking about near the Winnebago area. There are some spotters that have confirmed that tornado as well. It's making its way toward Napleton, and we've even seen some video of that. So we are to the south of that.
So there's some weather out to the west. You can see that gap they're talking about is right there.
Oh yeah.
There's a storm to the north of it and a storm to the south.
So within that line of severe storms,
well, it looks like the.
You can still get a car down here. We still got a pretty good group here.
of some tornadoes that are popping up, and that's why the National Weather Service.
Let us know how your weather is, folks, in Minnesota.
We're going to go ahead and continue north on I-35.
So you can investigate Charles Airline.
We're in a safe position.
I definitely would say south of us is going to take a brunt of it, right?
The activity right now. Let's get back to Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Right in rush hour right now around the Twin Cities. Very critical time. I'm happy.
Grove Heights, I
There's a
think
bit of
you're
a
going
gap
to get
right
hit.
now between the thunderstorm cells. The gap is good because
is there a
that's
time
going to give us
when that's
a little
going to
break.
hit?
About a half hour.
Yeah, that makes
seen any hint of it doing so. But when you see the strong thunderstorm, non-severe up in the Buffalo area, also the severe thunderstorms to the south. I'll take it out wider to show you what we're dealing with. The line of storms you can kind of see it snaking just west of the Twin Cities. Down
our friends in Hennepin County probably don't need our help, right? Did talk to Sheriff Zewanowit. We agreed to help each other out.
The National Weather Service and us here in our WCCO studios. But look at the wall of light. You can
looks like our friends in Dakota County might though, huh?
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? How are you?
Looks like the storm might miss us.
I gotta miss us. We gotta go to Dakota County now because it's not gonna come here apparently.
We saw your car. We figured you were.
Yeah, that's why I put the lights on so you wouldn't worry. I was.
No worries. Yeah, we think they're gonna swing this way, so we figure it's gonna be still here. But
yeah,
and we might upgrade our warning as the storm gets closer. So
it looks like there's a little sliver in between. That's going south and that's going north. So. All right, well, you guys do a great job here. We always appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All of America Security. Well, we're gonna head a little east, huh, Joe?
Sure.
See how our neighbors, we have Dakota County, it's West St. Paul, as we mentioned, is right south of us. Inver Grove Heights, which is just south of there. We're gonna head out of the mall.
Who is the sheriff? It used to be Tim Leslie for years. I don't know who. I forget who it is now.
Yeah, they got a new sheriff, good guy. He worked for Tim Leslie. Tim liked him and recommended him. the best way to sneak out of here? I mean, see everyone coming here. I always park in the west lot, right here. Pick my spot. Don't those rollers look close when you go by?
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. I usually park in the orange garage.
That's at the Disney World. Top floor, orange garage.
Hi, Chris. Yeah, we're still in Waconia on the shore of Lake Waconia, west of the Twin Cities. And
have we hit all the channels equally?
Yeah, 4, 11, 5,
than it is now. It appears
9.
that the large clouds behind us, there's this one large cloud here that looks to be passing over, but we never even really got any precipitation here. Even the winds have sort of died down in Waconia because
this is the problem why people
major storms have passed through this part of
don't always take cover, because the weather is unpredictable. It's not the weather reporter's fault.
Not at all.
The weather is unpredictable.
There's like it's windy, but some of these gusts of wind are like, you know, the warm gusts of wind that really hit you. And we were talking to some.
I don't know how to do that thing Pat does. Keep the focus on. Is it like double tap or hold? I think you got to hold.
Yeah, I did hold it.
Is it? I think well, the rain right now isn't bad. I mean,
I suppose I could read some of the comments.
Yeah, we go to the comments and so 2 tornadoes sighted though south of us.
It's a transit issue. So yeah, I just want to notify them. But I'm going to be returning back to the COT. They've been advised.
Our emergency manager, Dino Guerin, we might call him in a little bit, see what he's up to. CAT team is working, Mike's working. If they see a tornado, we're gonna switch to him.
You got Mighty Mike? Oh yeah, who's with us today, Monday?
We got a lot of people in the field trying to keep you posted on the weather. But at this particular moment,
We got about a 20-minute window here to get something.
I ate at that Hazelwood there. I like that place. It's a nice restaurant. My wife and I went there one time.
Steaks, or what do they got there?
Yeah, it's just, they got everything: steak, seafood,
I see
cocktails,
pizza
brunch, pizza.
I love pizza. It's one of my favorites.
I think everybody that knows you knows that, Joe.
It's got to be New York style, though.
Really? My wife ordered New York style from Domino's the other day.
I did, so did I.
She said she really liked it.
I did too.
Oh, good.
I did get that. It's funny.
Something a little different. What's the difference? A little thicker?
No, it's actually just thinner. It's getting cut in triangles.
Oh.
Like a thin, like a East Coast New York style.
I don't know the difference.
But I do like Carbonis now, where they're cut into squares.
Yeah, you get more pizza.
Is that clouds or what is that?
Yeah, those are clouds over there, west of Minneapolis.
835.
So we're going to head eastbound on 494 over to West St. Paul. We'll come in the south part of West St. Paul. Meanwhile, Joey, your camera's over there in Prescott, Wisconsin. Is your building still there?
I do have a camera. I'll have to pull it up. I'm gonna go with yes.
Warning.
There's some app backseater was saying.
Hello. Well, I thought it was someone calling about the weather, but it was someone offering to remortgage my house.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, why do people do that? So we're actually driving away from the rain a little bit. We're going eastbound, folks. When St. Paul, you were a little kid, back in 95, St. Paul got hit with that humongous rainstorm, and the east side, all those homes got flooded. There's a park there now. Oh my goodness, that was one of the worst. The sewage system couldn't handle water. Every home in that 4 square block area now is gone.
I'm trying trying to figure out what, refresh my memory. East side?
Just east side, just west of, so watch the comments, people know. West of White Bear and North Arlington, right in that area.
Oh, okay. So
there's a big
the Hillcrest area kind of?
Yeah, there's a big park there now. But Dan Bostrom, Councilmember Dan Bostrom and I went out to survey it the night when the rain stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we went into the first house we went into. And the rain had just stopped, but I mean, there was like 10 inches of rain. But the sewer system couldn't handle it. We went into the first house, and you know how those houses, you go in the side door, and then there's an immediate door to go to the basement?
Yep.
Okay? That's the way all these houses were. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom ramblers. We opened the door, and the lady said, look, and water, the TV was floating at the top of the steps.
Wow, that's crazy.
The entire basement up to the top was flooded with water. The TV was flooded. Every house was like that because the water came back through the sewage system.
Yeah, I guess I don't remember that one.
Oh, that was 1995.
Well, yeah.
How old were you?
12.
Well, that's why.
It's still pretty old.
That was terrible. Keep looking at the comments in case people remember some of those.
I believe that storm was in 1997.
Could have been.
White Bear in Iowa, just south of White Castle. Hillcrest Knoll. Is that one of those? Oh, is that the old?
It's a big park there. No?
Well, what was the golf course? Is it?
No, that's on the other side of White Bear. This was west of White Bear.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's between White Bear and McKnight.
All right, we'll turn Ian Leonard back on. Let's see what's going on over here in Inver Grove Heights. We got some serious wind that's blowing this Durango right off the road, folks. I don't think anybody's landed in this wind at the airport. They say 30, 35 miles.
Outside of that, a severe thunderstorm warning for Blue Earth, Faribault, Martin, and Waseca counties until 5:30.
You can feel the car moving.
Yeah. System. When you come along to the north here and you head toward and Baldwin, and you come across 169, and then you're coming up on I-35. There's plenty going on here, but these are very small storms, and there is something going on to the north that's very important. This is an area where we didn't have storms that were capable of supporting themselves for hours and hours. They've run out of that rich environment that is conducive to storm environment and storms thriving and moving forward. So the one thing you'll notice as these storms continue off to the northeast, over the next hour or two, they're going to encapsulate.
You guys spell the south into West St. Paul, Inver Grove, if you like.
There's a deluge of rain, thunder and lightning. Like people are talking about this all the days. So it is a strong storm. It is not a storm, but nonetheless, it is still a day to stay skyward because of how dangerous.
I'm on Channel 2. Is there something going on?
And lightning will continue to be. There's the tornado watch in place until 11 p.m. across the greater metro. It is there.
Tornado watch till 11 p.m. across the metro.
Seems kind of late.
Well, there's another band coming up later.
Parts of Wright County. That's interesting. Cody notices. So you've got these two.
You know what this reminds me of? When he says that's interesting, it's like election night polls.
You're right. You're right.
Election night polls. If you live in Inver Grove Heights, Rosemont, make a plan, take cover, make shelter. And text us to let us know what you're seeing down there.
Here south of the metro, there's Lakeville, come across 35 and bend all the way back, parallel to the Minnesota River Valley. Convective storm, probably some hail in there and some stronger winds, but none of these are warned right now. Because of that, I want to take a breath. Cody and I want to center ourselves.
Just like Lakeville now.
Ian's going to take a breath and center himself.
No breath, no break, because a new tornado warning was just issued for LeSueur, Rice, Steele, and Waseca.
LeSueur, Rice, Steele, new tornado warning.
should let you know it
That
is
means someone has seen rotation.
It is black. That means this is a Doppler indicated tornado warning. With that Doppler indicated tornado warning, Cody Day, here it is. It is severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 5 miles northwest of Masika, 19 miles west of Owatonna. And how about this? Moving to the northeast at 60 miles.
No
60
way.
miles an
60
hour.
miles an
And if you want to pull up weather too, because there isn't a lot to see. It looks kind of linear at the moment, but it may start to get its act together. Oh, and now the new scan just came in as we pulled into it. Okay, so you can see it. We've been talking about this all day, and Randy's like my greatest conscience. He's like, I'm not sure what I'm
We got deputized by Brandon Coptic. After we went off the air, Brandon called and deputized us. We're storm chaser assistants.
You know, it's always something I always wanted to try, but I've been too chicken to do it.
Well, he has the right equipment.
Right.
This takes away the rain. This is the Doppler velocity. In other words, the inbound and outbound velocities for the Doppler radar unit. I mentioned this earlier. When you think about Doppler,
What was that movie that came out in the 90s? Was it Twister? That was a good movie.
100 years ago.
Look at the Twister now, you know.
And a car goes, and as it goes by, the pitch, the sound of the car, whatever's moving by you, it changes. That's what happens with Doppler velocity. This is giving us an idea of winds that are moving toward and winds that are moving away. As meteorologists, we look for what's called a velocity coupling.
Well, we're in our neighborhood,
That's where it is right
our
there.
neighboring county of Dakota,
That a tornado could
south end of West St. Paul.
Generally, when we look for real tight gate-to-gate shift, we're looking at sort of 50 to 60 mile per hour inbound, outbound. We're at 17 meters a second. It's still very, very fast. And there it is rotating.
On the border of West St. Paul and Inver Grove Heights. It's the Inver Grove Heights Tower there.
Off to the north and west, you can see that's exactly what it is. It's a great image of what the rotation embedded in the storm looks like. Go ahead, Rachel. You guys are doing that second by second thing. It's awesome. People are loving it. You're hearing from people. Do you have enough information?
We're tuning in on all the channels to get the most up-to-date weather.
Because people are saying, well, is it going to hit the Twin Cities or not? And when you showed the broader view a minute ago, you could see it sort of tipping to the southern part of Lakeville. And it looked like possibly the closest area to the cities would be maybe Hastings to that.
Oh, it's like right where I'm at.
Hastings,
Where I live.
Prescott. We might have to check Joe's house out.
Okay, so let's come back to weather monitor folks in the booth. Great question. Let me answer it for you, Randy, and I'll give you an idea with that tornado warning here. Well, to the south. Let's slowly move you here off to the north, and what you'll get here. So, look, here's south of the metro. There's 21. There's
60 miles an hour that tornado was moving.
Yeah.
That's scary. That means that covered 30 miles in a half hour.
I'm glad you're doing the math because I was trying to figure that out in my head.
Well, go to a different channel?
No, I lost the reception.
Well, we gave him enough. Joe, last time I took you in the eye of the hurricane, do you remember?
We just talked? Yes, I sure do remember.
Joe and I were in the eye of the hurricane in Florida. 130 mile an hour winds on the backside.
I sure do.
There's the wall cloud up ahead there, Joe. See that cloud formation? Serious? See that
Yeah,
cloud?
I do.
We're driving into the wall cloud. The key is to always be behind the wall cloud.
Get to shelter. Just don't play with this particular storm.
You're urged not to drive when severe weather hits, but if you do have your headlights on,
Check the comments there, Joe. Go to comments for a while.
Stick with us
See what
on
people-
air and
See what people are telling you, how their weather is. You can turn your volume down.
Yep, I did. Storms missed the cities. Not quite yet, but yes. Not quite out of the water yet. But the weeds. Light sprinkles in Oakdale. Thank you, Annette. Yeah, that was a long day when we were down in for the hurricane, and because it was just the anticipation for hours.
Fortunately, it wasn't as bad as the earlier one. The storm surges weren't that bad.
No. Good friend Tommy Ford was down there.
6-4.
Yeah, our assignment was in Hillsborough County, Tampa Bay area to help out. Hillsborough County.
I remember Tommy Ford said, well, I got a problem, but it's a good problem to have. Yeah.
Turned out it wasn't as bad as they thought. Didn't keep us as long as we thought. Alright, so south of Ramsey County. So far, the storm hasn't been as bad as it was anticipated. But we have bodies ready, standing by if anyone in the metro area needs our assistance.
Is there something going on off a case?
There's always something going on, Joe.
Yeah, backseater just sent me a text, so I was just wondering.
We're just going to get off here a little bit.
Walked into the library asking stated there was a fight and a domestic happening at the Aurora address. He did not know if anyone was injured and he couldn't give any more information, and he walked out.
Strong wind and rain in Oakdale.
6-1.
I'm shocked that there's not really here.
Well,
suspicious in the township, 2589 Norway.
I'm shocked too. That's good news.
Knocking on the door.
Good news. Good news. So far,
gray hoodie with a shield on the back, blue jeans, white.
A little surprised, aren't you?
I am.
6-1, Gabby.
Let's go across the street. We're going to sit down at the gas station for a minute.
Oh, there's an A&W down here.
Yeah, I love the fact that A&W is still in business.
I have to get a burger.
Medical 3300, Bryce, Super 430, 96-year-old female lost.
Well, let's take a look at the radar.
176.
2260.
Is that live or future? Or?
Well, based on what I'm seeing here, the whole thing is falling apart. You see that?
I do. It's a wood area. Yeah,
it's way south. I mean, we could obviously southern Minnesota might get hit hard, but it doesn't look like.
516.
Let's see what the next wave is looking like.
Yeah, that Brandon Kopic was pretty spot on. He was saying that you guys might luck out.
He's been doing this for
a
living.
Oh, 1487.
Well, there's a wind down here, but I don't think. Well, I do think Prescott could take a hit.
There's 6 to 7 juveniles.
Still?
Color sons.
I'll just pull in right here, get a little break from the wind and the rain, take a look at the radar. Jeez, I don't even think Prescott's going to get hit too bad, right? There you are right there.
Yeah, I'm just right here, yeah.
Well, maybe on second thought
there,
you might.
One time
About a half hour from now. It looks like it's something. Well, let me put it this way: it's predicted to grow.
But it's moving to the east, I see.
Yeah, more east than south. You can see it all right out there, folks. It's just south of us a little bit. We might just tool over a little bit toward Hastings, just on the little fear that Joe's place gets hit. We don't want Jolly Joe to have to worry about his tornado hitting his house, right? Look at that flag.
I have insurance.
Oh, so you're not worried.
Right by Steve's cigar lounge.
So, should we go east on 55 to get to your place, right?
Yeah, it's a jaunt though from here.
Oh, it's hardly, 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe, 8.
We're not going to your place.
Right.
We're just going toward your place.
Right.
Well, turn the weather in, see if anything's going on. Dakota County. Dakota County.
Someone from Faribault is going to let us know. Perfect.
Faribault might have got hit pretty good.
Yeah, Chad, stuff to the southwest is looking pretty wicked. But I don't know, I haven't seen the movie Twister in a few months, and my storm chase
We were just talking about that.
Real right for the eyes.
Some of our troops live out in this area. Of course, that's the other concern, is that not everybody lives in Ramsey County. You know, the whole thing might just fall apart.
Heather in Rosemont said it looks crazy.
What looks crazy?
Just the weather. She didn't indicate. Specify.
Crazy. Good? Bad?
Like probably just like clouds and whatnot.
Dakota County headed south to where the guts of the storm is supposed to be. Apparently it split off a little bit. One went north of the cities toward up 169 and one went just south of the Twin Cities. I don't know if we'll see a tornado, but we're definitely going to see some heavier rain in front of us here. Let's turn those newscasters back on, see what we got. I don't think they put anybody in Hastings.
We'll go back to Ian just because he's
Someone
easy.
say they were in Hastings. So if you're listening to us, you're in
I'll give you a minute to do this.
the Hastings area, make a plan.
If you can get to one of our jam cams that we've selected from the Weather Center, I'd love to show you what is going. What is it, Cody? It's a jam cam from Faribault. I'd love for you to go. There you go. This is one of those evenings.
There's a cloud in Faribault, huh? Look at that.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is, Channel 9 has this jam cam in Faribault.
It's pretty wild.
Whoa, that is a wall cloud. It's coming right toward your house, though.
And that circle continues all the way around. If you were there right now, you would see this complex, and it's slow, I grant you that, but it's a super slow rotation.
Super slow rotation.
The storm itself has a massive degree of very slow rotation. Dark, ominous clouds that begin to come down. You're going to see some of the darker clouds here kind of pull away, almost like a
Scud. Scud. Storm cloud what? What's the UD? Turn that up. That's some good stuff. Scud.
But the overall intention of this storm is to say, no, you can't get pulled away. I want to pull you back in to this grand circulation. So this is 35. When it says NB, some folks
that is some scary stuff at Faribault. That when she said it looks crazy,
yeah.
Now we know what she's talking about.
Here's the northbound lane. So what can we interpret from that? If we're looking to the north, this is just off to the northwest of I-35. So these dark, ominous, low-hanging clouds. Again, see these little tiny wisps? They'll come ripping away and then they get sucked right back in. So there's plenty of scud on this big,
plenty of scud.
Plenty of scud.
Cloud that is right over top of Faribault.
Now you better go to Channel 5.
Thank you to everybody.
Faribault looks like some weird clouds there, man. Weird clouds.
Maybe that's 170 some of the alarm.
That was some ugly stuff, right?
Absolutely.
The Mall of America security guards were out there watching as well, and they have security protocols, safety protocols that if a storm is coming, they put everybody in a safe place. Obviously, if a tornado ever hit the roof of the Mall of America, there would be probably some damage falling. Look at that. What channel is that one?
Channel 5.
Channel 5 is at Faribault there, but they got that wall cloud. Whoa. Look at that. That's a tornado.
Yeah, Faribault.
Jesus.
We're getting some rain down here now, though.
Oh, it's coming right toward us. I broke my own rule. Remember I said it's good to be behind it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I broke my own rule.
You sure did.
Today, the winds are shifting from the southeast of the surface to the southwest, and as you get east of Interstate 35, that shift or that wind flow along is even stronger. So it means even
Brandon was telling me about that wind flow difference north aloft and surface. I forget what he called it.
You can't fault us down right down my horizon or south.
Oh, check out this road. Oh, Fletcher. Oh, it's in Fletcher.
Oh.
A few miles down the road, try to outrun the rain and see if we can get you a shot. But for now, we're headed south on I-35. Tornado warning storm in Faribault right now. Storm is to the right. If there was a tornado, it would be on the right side. And we will be checking back with you here. But the storm is moving about 40 miles per hour, so we want to stay out of the rain and, of course, stay out of the path of exact tornado. But we're very close. We're definitely in the rotation area.
Jonathan, thank you so much. It's fascinating to see Jonathan shot in Faribault and then south of Mankato. Then not getting that rain yet. You can see that system moves to
Well,
the east.
here's Chili Joe's favorite female anchor.
Lindsey Brown. Jeff and Kevin. Always do a good job.
You're a good pair. I haven't seen any hail yet. They found some 2-inch hail in southern Minnesota.
It's clearing out there now, but still a very serious situation south of the Detroit, just north of.
We want to be able to check back in with our meteorologist as soon as we can, in fact, just to get the latest update on where the storm's moving, how fast it's going, who's seeing what at this point. Do we have Chris at this point?
Yeah. So here we are. Just want to do a
It's pretty much right here, yeah.
Farmington now.
Yeah, just the tip, not much here.
If a tornado were to hit Dakota County, we have several bodies ready to help. Yeah, just face it, it's the first time in my history that I remember a newscaster say we are going to have tornadoes. Just prepare for where. So we did that, we prepared, we share resources together. They would all be there to help us if necessary. 60 miles an hour, that's kind of weird.
I think that's just the storm, not actually the tornado. But
no, but how fast it's moving?
He said 60 miles per hour. I think in the next half hour it's going to be Hastings. Between Hastings and Red Wing.
I would think so, wouldn't you?
But the tip's here right now, it looks like. Yeah. Like towards Red Wing.
Well, why don't you go see what our viewers are saying? I think we
check with our backseaters, comments.
General Sieben Drive, great man, General Sieben, personal friend. Thank you, sir, for your service.
Up here on my left is one of my favorites and your favorite places as well. You'll see.
Hastings football bowl.
You'll see. It's on the left.
Hastings football bowl.
Right by the Taco Bell. It's a restaurant.
The Hastings football bowl. We used to play football.
Yeah, it's further up, but yeah. You'll see it.
And Express?
Close. Left-hand side. You see it? Carboni's Pizza.
Carboni's Pizza. There you go. Well, we are all a little bit surprised. Well, a couple tornado sightings down there. Southern Minnesota.
35388.
Oh, I see some lightning now.
Domestic at 1820 Larkser in apartment side. Initially, it was the mother calling in, saying that her son got upset and dropped her phone. We have the other party is calling in on this as well. One of them is saying that the 70-year-old mother is holding a knife on them about the phone. The knife is moved away. They're continuing to argue, however.
Up here's where you're going to see your the football bowl thing.
Right here? Well,
yep, it's there.
On the left there.
And besides your original colors.
Kind of a nice field.
Played a few football games down there.
I think they got like turf now.
And the sun
where is
is
it?
going to be a Jeremiah Kennedy, about 40-year-old.
To remodel it. Oh, there it is. Still there. Yep. North St. Paul Polars versus the Hastings Raiders.
Yeah, the St. Paul Suburban Conference. Or back then, I'm not sure what it was.
Just the Suburban Conference. It's good times.
We're going south.
Go south, see if these people are looking for the storm. They're waiting for it. Storm chasers.
There's an M&H down here too.
Oh, lightning.
Jersey Mike's. Perkins.
We are destined to see a tornado. Hopefully not too close. But just remember, if the wind gets too bad,
go to Treasure Island?
No. If the wind gets too bad and we're trying to rock and roll, here's what you do. You ready?
What do we do?
You click your heels 3 times and repeat.
There we go.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I gotta have some like ruby slippers on though.
Well, there is that. You always had the power, Joe.
The Good Witch or the Wicked Witch?
Well, the Good Witch always had the power, and so did Dorothy.
Was it Glenda?
Yeah,
or Galinda or something?
Galinda.
That movie gave me nightmares with the flying monkeys back when I was a kid.
Yeah, those flying monkeys were really scary.
My favorite is probably the Wizard. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention. Yep.
Up a little fire, Scarecrow.
That was mean. She was mean.
She was mean.
She deserved to melt.
She didn't melt.
She didn't deserve any due process.
Remember all the people that were with the witch? They're like,
Hail Dorothy!
Hail Dorothy! I still watch that every year. It's always on like Thanksgiving or Christmas time.
Comments there? Anybody down in that Cannon Falls area? Backseaters in the Cannon Falls area? We're only reading the comments on Facebook, so if you're on YouTube, we cannot read them. Well, we could, but we got too much going on.
I'm not seeing anybody that's commenting about other than the Faribault area.
One weird wall cloud.
We are definitely getting some more rain now. Channel 5 reporting car thinks tornado crossed 35 in front of them near Medford.
A little louder.
So a backseater made a comment. Channel 5 that's live reporting a car thinks a tornado crossed 35 right in front of them. Near Medford, wherever that's at. Medford, Minnesota.
Yeah, I think that's south. Variable. You have to look it up.
Ooh, wow, that does look vicious over there. Off to our right, which would be the west to southwest. That looks pretty nasty. No hail yet, backseaters.
I'm trying to find a gas station, that has a cover on it.
There's a golf course up here, but I don't see any.
We gotta find some cover.
I think. Now we're getting rain.
Heavy Henry wants to go by him, so I'm gonna let him. Let that one go ahead. Fletcher where the nearest gas station.
Yeah, I don't have Siri on my phone set up.
I'll just Google it.
Yeah.
Remember what I said about being behind the storm?
Well, they're all north of us, but there is a speedway.
How far? Straight ahead?
Straight ahead, and then to the east.
How far?
Well, it's hard to tell.
Well, what road is it on? Pull it up.
What is that road there? It says 61, but we're on 61.
Cross street. What's the cross street there?
20?
Just blow it up till you get it out. Just get the direction.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Not far, right?
10 minutes. Is that too far?
Oh, it's perfect. You the man, Joe. You the man. I'll go back to the weather guy and see if we're in danger.
Ian Leonard or which one?
Ian Leonard. Any of them are fine, I think. Find out if we're in danger.
Oh, I'm not scared, sir.
You're not?
No.
Well, you should be.
Hey, I survived a hurricane.
You should be. We're not in an apartment building. We're in a 2,000-pound car.
Oh, this is nothing compared to the hurricane.
Oh, well, I'm glad you feel that way. You know what the most important thing right now to do?
It can create damage well away from parent thunderstorms. There are times when we're forecasting as meteorologists, we're looking and we're like, why is that storm growing? And then you look for ground truth and you look at observations and like, oh my gosh, there's an outflow boundary coming through the storm.
Yeah, we're actually pretty. That was kind of dicey.
Yeah, with that darkness?
Yeah.
That's where it is.
The storm doesn't have to be over top of you.
Look at all over there.
Yeah, that looks dicey.
For you to feel the effects of very large storms in your area. And I think that's what it was. It was a gust front or it was an outflow boundary in parts of the West Metro, in particular Medina, all the way to Warren with some of the pictures that we're picking up. So it is one of those days that the storm doesn't have to be over top of you for you to feel the effects. I'm going to go to you, Randy, in just a minute. Again, the tornado warnings here in place. Let's at least get a track on one of these tornado warnings. You'll see just north of Medford. See that gold box? That means that as a Doppler unit does 5 scans and it clicks up every single time, it's found a degree of rotation. So we can track that. So the Doppler is saying that particular part of the strongest part of the storm is moving off to the east at around 20 miles per hour. There are no big communities in the box, but that's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and 30 minutes, which would put it just to the south.
Where is Red Wing? On their
track it one more time.
Oh, on the map here?
No, on their map.
Oh, yeah, it's like up here, right here.
Just south of Kenyon, just north of West.
All that stuff's here, so it's not even bad.
The strongest portion of the storm, well to the east of I-35.
That's a big old storm. You guys go.
Yeah, but we're just getting the tip of it, though.
Wow, it's right over there.
You think this is moving towards Red Wing?
Yeah, it's moving up and over.
Of this storm. So I start to think about people in Red Wing and different places like that who are watching you and watching us going, okay.
You mentioned Red Wing.
How long?
Well, we're not going to get as far as Red Wing.
Obviously, the storm it morphs and it evolves, but that's what the folks out in front of that storm are wondering now.
It's a great question. There's the
Joe?
Twin Cities property. Head down to
I'm sorry.
Lawrenceville Split, and these storms are just south of that by about 10 miles. The storms are now
You look this way and it's not bad. You look a completely different story.
We need to make sure we can drive to the east.
County, into Rice, into Steele counties. These are all areas that are under the weather gun.
Sure that's the correct road.
Disregard.
Oh, there we go, Joe. What's it say?
Just a tornado warning in this area.
Tornado warning or watch?
It says warning.
Oh, Jesus.
till 6:30. Take shelter now in a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building.
If you live in the southern Hastings area.
Or we can just head back north if you're that.
See, Joe, I'm concerned about your judgment here. Is this the road?
No, it's further up.
How much?
7 minutes, 4 miles.
4 miles ahead or 4 miles to the destination?
4 miles to the destination.
All right, so, but the main road is not far from us.
Yeah, it's showing on 61, but we're on 61. Yeah, so this must...
You know, up here it says how far to the turn?
0.9 miles. Yeah.
Perfect, there you go. Well, folks, in our enthusiasm to be prepared and help you be prepared, we have put ourselves in front of the advancing storm. Now, because we're professional drivers,
Turn left onto US 61.
because we're professional drivers, we're not really that worried, but we're not going to Treasure Island. But we're going to turn to the right here and just show you what is coming this way. If you're at Treasure Island...
Well, that gas station is to the...
Yeah, I'm just going to turn here for a minute. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the weather here that's advancing. Cannon Falls is a little south of us. Apparently the Farmington/Fairmont weather is over there.
Yeah, now this is a cool...
See that wall cloud right out there?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to let our viewers get a little sample of that wall cloud before we've been trained by Brandon Kopic, Storm Chaser.
We are trained.
What? So there is the wall cloud out there. You can kind of see it, right? On our video. That is out over Cannon Falls.
It is dark over there.
It's a couple different options there. Those are got a little circulation there. You can see the lightning and thunder. But I would say as these rain, a lot of these dissipate. Right? There's another one here just north of us. We drove through that rain cloud. I mean, I don't want to say that they seem to be burning themselves out, but...
Wait for 10. Can I get my case number?
Clearly not as robust as they were when they were in Faribault, right?
I agree.
A lot of lightning, though. But that one off to our north is pretty robust there, huh? Where is that storm that he's talking about?
South of here?
Is that Cannon Falls?
Canyon Wanamingo.
Yep. That was the one we showed you.
That is the storm location. That is...
Because Red Wing on his map doesn't look that bad. That's Red Wing's not right.
Well, but it's going northeast.
Right, yeah.
East of Canyon. That's a new tornado warning for Goodhue and Rice counties. And look, we're moving forward here into 6:30 p.m. So this is a huge expansion into Goodhue, Zumbrota, down toward Roscoe. And
looks like the storm is wide.
And anybody who knows this area of Minnesota knows this is a vast area, and more importantly,
a little emotion into its weather, huh?
Well, I think today is absolutely.
Get into the hills. If you're one of those people who's in Goodhue and you're looking out the window, looking off to the west, you're like, you can't really
for chasers because of all those occlusions.
If you're in and around Kenya, see where the white area is right there? This is it, my friends.
By the way, we're driving away from Kenya. It was south on that street there that we showed you. You saw that big wall cloud there.
Anywhere, even with a walkout of your basement, go away from the windows that are the walkout and get to the deepest part of whatever.
Away from your windows.
Happens to be built.
This is the important thing. Get away from windows.
Test something real quick.
To see if
you got a lower part.
Actually listening to it earlier. If you're MnDOT and you're listening, can you point all the Highway 52 cameras to the west? I just want to test it because they're all
there's your speedway
south right now, which is going to help.
Oh, the MnDOT cameras.
It's worth a try.
Throwing a shout out there.
Throwing a shout out. And by the way, they do such an incredible job.
They do.
The jam cams. Okay, so let's go away from Cody. Cody, I'll let you scope this. I'm going to go away from that. Okay. That's Cody's computer there. I want to come back to my computer, which is Weather One, and there you go. Because that is the scope of the new tornado warning. You know, generally when we look at storms, the tornado warnings tend to shrink and disappear. So there's the original tornado warning right there. Let me draw a line on this pad.
It may be right over Canyon right now.
Right there. There's the original tornado warning. There is the latest tornado warning that is working over Highway 52 into Zambroda and really taking over a good portion of Goodhue County. Cody, do you have a scope on Canyon?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to Cody's computer really quick from the, wow. Okay, so again, when we look at this as meteorologists and we look at the Doppler technology, you're looking inside the storm here. There's the flow in just north of Canyon. There's the flow in just south of
This car made of metal?
So this is one massive area of rotation embedded in that rotation.
So just to be clear,
if there is a tornado, it's very close to
Kenya is about 20 miles south of us, where they're talking about.
And at 60 miles an hour moving.
Well, but we're north, so it's moving east, northeast now. That storm we showed you.
To gather the kids, the animals, and practice your personal storm plan.
It should be here in 20 minutes then.
Well, but the thing is, it's going east. And we don't want
more east than north.
Yeah, we're not really trying to find it.
Look at the bright green that's beginning to bend around.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that echo.
So we just switched here. It's just north of Canyon here.
Uh-oh. Now it's north of Canyon, the big echo. Did you hear that, Joe?
I did.
My friends, wherever you are in and around Kenyon and Holden and Leon and soon to be in Wanamingo.
Wanamingo, home of...
They had a good basketball team down there, the high school anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see them on the state tournament.
Well, here we are. There's Cannon Falls, just north of Kenyon.
Can you put the dot where we are?
Well, I'm on the weather one here. We're right up here. See that line right there? That's where we are.
Just showing you that. We're showing you where the rotation is. That's more important than anything right now because where that rotation is where there's
Where's the rotation?
Possible tornado. That's all we're saying. And if that's
more by Kenyon or whatever.
That's where we need you to be safe. And as this storm advances here across Goodhue County, there's the latest scan from Doppler. Everywhere we see that bright white, those little balls here, bright white, that's
well, we are not going any farther south than where we are now.
It means it's raindrops mixed with hail.
But if there's a serious tornado strike somewhere, we will mobilize our resources, come down and help Sheriff Jolico.
Because we've had 3 scans since that last scope. Oof, wow. That's a really good coupler right there, just to the north of Kenyon.
And then it's just moving northeast. So.
Yeah. So Holden, Kenyon, again, what you're looking at velocity, so there's inbound, here's outbound, and there's the spin. With that spin, it's inferred with the spin in the clouds with a Doppler indicated tornado warning. And it's a big
open, do you think?
Yeah, I saw a guy inside
it's
there.
got glitter on it. And
You need something?
I'm going to run in.
It is a big if.
You sure it's open?
Yeah, I saw a guy inside, the clerk.
You're going to stay here?
Yeah.
All right, talk to the back seaters. Oh, there's some wind
Ooh,
going.
we better hurry. Well, backseaters, this has certainly been interesting. I'm actually losing my signal now.
And I'm
do want to give a shout out to all the sheriff's offices. Since 2:30 this afternoon,
we're
I've
getting
been
a shout
looking
out.
at sheriff's office Facebook pages to see what they've been reporting and seeing. And it just seems like every sheriff's office put a warning out, and they're continuing to communicate with people locally about the situation with the storm.
The sheriff's office, the local volunteer fire departments, they are literally our eyes on the ground. They have pre-assigned points that they go to in their towns, their cities, their counties, and they watch the weather and they watch for touchdowns. They are so important.
Let's go to the you talk about those out boundary areas. Lakeville was one of those in the South Metro here. We've got a picture that was sent in to us by Adam, and again, that's Lakeville, and he simply says, "There it is, tree on my deck."
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of trees so far. A few pictures of hailstones. Of course, for some folks, this is still a situation where they are sheltering and not out and about sending pictures yet. But again, this is Long Lake. That's from Anita, showing some snap.
I want to check. I gotta see the way this weather is coming. I think we're closer to it than what the sheriff thinks. I gotta see the live radar.
Tango.
178 Tango.
You're on this plate for me, Kilo Yankee Zulu 795. We just got a hit on our ALPR for a stolen. We're northbound Dale, passing Central.
Because we are pretty much, I think, in Meesville right now. So we're to the east of it.
Stevens on the Southward, Dale and Unity.
Looks like Hastings is getting some right now.
166, same traffic.
Cannon Falls.
Whoa! That's some lightning, Joe.
Yes, sir. We went further south. We're like probably, I think, in Meesville's the town, but
we're between Hastings and the Treasure Island.
Kind of on the way to the tip.
Is that Thomas?
Yeah.
Tell him not to leave yet. If something hits here, we're gonna mobilize down here.
Yeah. Sheriff said not to leave yet.
If something hits Dakota County, we're gonna mobilize.
So if something hits Dakota County, we'll have to mobilize. So.
I mean.
All right. Yeah, 10-4.
So, look at out to our north there, Joe.
Oh yeah, that's towards Hastings.
Yep, that's towards Hastings. So, it's Weatherman Joe, folks. Forget this Jelly Joe. We got a new one, Weatherman Joe.
I gotta go back to Ian Leonard though. Well, they just gave a shout out to not us, but all the sheriff's office for putting, and police and fire for putting out alerts on their Facebook page, warning residents and community.
We gotta figure out where that wall spawn is behind us. To the right. See it right over there? In. Here, plug this one into your phone. Oh, you got a different phone. You got the white one? Here, plug this one in.
Oh, so you get the speaker? Or?
Yeah. Problem in these really bad storms, folks. Even if you know where it is and you want to drive in it, you got is that yours?
Yeah.
You got bad weather ahead of it. This is what we call a deluge. All started since I went into the restroom. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice.
end of it now. That's definitely not you.
No, I'm gonna try to figure out why it's not my CarPlay here.
I'm gonna try to switch to the thing here for you.
Well, here,
There we go. No. iPhone, that's you, bro.
yeah. There we go. Now it should be working.
0-1 to Nolan Jones, a heater at 91.
Is that you?
No.
Yeah, I think it is. That's probably your phone radio.
I should have hands.
Well, it says that's...
I don't have my Bluetooth on. Let me turn that on.
Here's what you can do. I got an idea. Just for weathermen. Here, hold this one.
Yep.
Ski Welch Village. What this is? Welch Village. Several tornadoes sighted west of us, folks. We are moving to the east. You got that plugged in?
Yep.
This Saturday, Palm Island, bottom of the fourth.
Alright, good. Now. This is my phone?
This one here?
Yep.
That's unlocked though.
All those channels are there. Just tap them. Whichever one you want. Yep. Pull the live up. I'm amazed at how fast I am totally amazed at how fast.
Win all three in a row. It's high and count 1 and 2. And all of the games are so close that it never feels like you're getting a boat race.
That right there.
Goes through 6, 7, 8 innings and then
Maybe unplug that one.
Breaking balls here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Into the pitch. Breaking ball just wide.
talk about Jones being able to see.
Is there a twin jam on or what, Joe?
Called off 2 really, really good changeups.
Let's just shut this down.
3 balls and 2.
You'll start seeing this thing elongate, and the probability here is for a storm like this to begin to pull apart. So that you'll have areas that were once part of a voracious line slowly become these big old shells that just continue to roll away. I know Mitchell in the booth here.
If they break up, it's worse.
Key about a jam cam. Mitchell, tell me where we're going and then take it.
Here we go, jam cam.
Okay. This is as that tornado warned spot is coming just north of Wanamingo. Yeah. So this is what I was talking about, Wanamingo, and it must feel like the world is not in a good place if you're in Wanamingo. Talked about straight line winds. Those straight line winds would be in excess of 70 miles per hour. Talked about the very heavy rain. The hail core hasn't arrived in Wanamingo yet. But if that's a storm that's, rolling, you see the barn in the background in the silo. This is Highway 52. That's on the northbound side of 52. So you're actually looking off to the south to give you an idea of the location here. This is real close to Wanamingo. And if you're in that area, you're thinking to yourself, oh, man, I don't want any part of this. We can't stop the storms, but we can keep you ahead of the storms and give you that information like we did with Wanamingo a full 10 minutes ago.
Thank goodness. We want people to be in a safe place. Ian, when you see those hail core situations on the radar like that, can you even guess when, the size of the hailstone or what we're dealing with? When you see that on the radar?
So there's something we use, and we call it ground truth. I was talking earlier about the sheriff and the volunteer fire departments, and they're giving us ground truth. So we look at the rotation on radar, we're like, that looks bad. Well, and then they say, well, no, it never touched the ground. It was a spinning funnel cloud. Or they can say, oh my gosh, I see it, a 10-4, 10-4, there's a tornado on the ground. That's ground truth. The same is true with hail. We can infer
that's why they verify ground touchdown is from first responders.
I'd rather wait for ground truth, like when you had those amazing pictures. People put quarters next to their hands or tape measure. See the lightning
he's trying to see where we're at
in the background here, right near Wanamingo. So that ground truth, and as we get the pictures, Mitchell, our producer in the booth, I tell you, I mean, Randy and Kelsey, we love to show that degree of ground truth. I think what we could do right now, and I'll let Randy and Kelsey take over for just a second here. I'd love to see those pictures again of the blowdowns, of the damage that happened in the Twin Cities Metro, and a few more pictures of hail. The ground truth, if you will. And if anything, what it does
did have a lot of wind, apparently.
Wow, I'm glad they're on TV. We've been on TV for the better part of the afternoon, and people say, why? You like to hear yourself talk? I've never really liked my voice.
Well, and we'd like to look at the pictures, and then if we can also pull up...
and by the way, we're not going to leave coverage. We'll come back, but I do want people to see these, so go ahead.
Yeah, our storm chaser, Tim Curry.
What we're seeing over here is really just deluge of rain.
There's Lakeville, like we talked about those straight line winds, and again, sort of the outer fringes of the boundaries, we keep our people safe, and so far most of the pictures that are coming in are from people who have seen that storm pass through.
Which one right below the red?
So
that as this system moves forward, there are going to be more areas that are, of course, impacted by serious hail, and also straight line.
We haven't seen any hail yet, but we're a little bit ahead of the storm.
Collection of those hailstones, one of them pretty big there in the bottom. And imagine that hitting your house or a car, that size can do some damage.
Yeah, as Ian and Cody will tell you, based on those cells are looking at.
Doing hail will damage your siding, your window
the
frame.
professional storm chaser whose feed we've been watching. We're going to try to get that in just a little bit, but he's been out and about. He actually has been stationed in this area since yesterday. And so many of the storm chasers from me up in the west did position themselves in Nebraska, South Dakota, and in Minnesota over the last 36 hours.
Tim travels with his better half, and he stays safe. They stay safe. This is nothing that any of us should be involved in. That's why the professional storm chasers, they know exactly where to go to stay safe. Generally speaking, they're either in front of the storm to see it, or behind the storm, or they'll try and form a line into the storm that's a safer line. He was doing that earlier as he was heading into that area that Ian was talking about, not quite to the canyon area, but down in sort of the heart of it.
Not trying to be imaged by any means.
No, and the images they get are important for meteorologists to be able to sort of study and tell what those storms are doing. Do they perform the way that radar says they perform?
Amazing that it missed the whole Ramsey County, huh?
Some of the
It is
smartest
something.
meteorologists. These are people that perform an incredible task. And I will tell you, and I said this to Tim live on the air when we had him earlier, it's nothing like Twister. It's not that glamorous. It's gas station burritos. It's following storms that sometimes can travel 3 or 4 states to try and get that one evasive picture, that one shot of the storm. So for anybody who thinks it's a some degree of
the casino is open.
It is hard work, driving work, long work. And as you look here live at Storm Vision Radar, the tornado warning that was extended into Goodhue County, that is the only valid albeit Doppler indicated
Goodhue
tornado
County
warning that is
technically
still
is
here.
south of us.
It is in place until 6:30. You probably caught me looking at my watch.
That's where the
when we came
tornado
back on
warning
camera.
is.
This is a new severe
You're worried
thunderstorm
about our
warning that has
safety.
come out for a portion of Goodhue County. So it kind of comes up along the backside here. The tornado warning, but
Not
it's
far
also
south.
portions of Rice and Steele County. And if you've been with us over the last hour and a half, I talked about Rice, I talked about Steele, I talked about Goodhue. I talked about how it was coming. It is not just coming, it is here. The degree of rotation here along Highway 52. That's where we were looking at the jam
Treasure Island Casino.
Well, if Steve's here,
If we
see if
could, I would
they're,
love, Mitchell, to get back to that
see if there's safety
traffic camera,
protocols
the jam cam back around Wanamingo. I can hear Cody rolling over in the weather center. Cody's going to get that going. Okay, so let me take you down to Goodhue County. That's the
I
only
think here, I was thinking the same thing, but I think it's just a
tornado warning.
one-way
It is a
each.
Doppler indicated tornado warning. All along 52, working into Wanamingo is where we had the camera. Go ahead, pull it up, see if we can do it.
So Wanamingo
Decidedly different.
on the south side
So
of us.
these storms, I talked about how fast the
pass-
storms are moving.
they pass
45
through
miles per hour forward speed. Now think about it. I've driven with Kelsey. She doesn't even drive that fast.
It's a little bit of an exaggeration.
All right.
We go 50. But hey,
Try a different
roll
channel.
over to another jam cam?
Yeah.
And this one's got a report from Owatonna about 15 minutes
Here you
ago
go, hold on.
of golf ball size hail
Golf ball size hail.
that fell through there, and there's what their jam cam currently looks like at the moment. Is that clearing behind? Yeah, a little bit of
We
clearing.
got a little street
this is a
construction going on
northbound
here.
camera.
That
So
Treasure Island
there's the
Casino, right?
northbound
It's been a long
lane.
time since I've
So
been
if you're
here.
looking to the
There it
north,
is right in front
that
of
is
us.
off to the west, and that's where
No,
the
I know.
clearing is coming
It's,
from. Yeah,
probably about a year
good
ago last
perspective,
time.
Randy. That's,
Over a year.
but yeah, it gives you an idea. And that background right there, you see how clear
got a
it is?
stop sign.
That's severe clear, and it's coming for everybody. Probably sooner than you think. As we head through the next couple of hours, the storms will eventually clear down into northeast Iowa, down into central Wisconsin, which is no longer the Foxline viewing area. But they will take some time to get across these things.
Nobody in
get
there.
across
Nobody in
the Mississippi. And so we're still,
Prairie Island,
talking
that's where
about
we're at,
storms,
Prairie Island.
across the region.
Prairie Island has its own police department.
Radar there
Which is
quickly.
very
The
law
next,
enforcement friendly.
potential
We
city
appreciate them.
/ town
Yeah.
of note in our area would be Red Wing. Look, the tip of that
Casey, I've
storm
never
was
been
just
down
starting to
there.
touch Red Wing to the south and to the west of that
There's
city.
actually a
zone.
female that used to work in a
Yeah.
warrant office that went on to be a tribal, like, Biden's friend.
So we just got a report of golf ball size hail in Steele County, about 2 miles northeast of Hope. Golf ball size hail.
That's the
thanks.
bingo entrance.
No, go ahead, take Red Wing if we've got it.
I've only been
Here's
here
Red
one
Wing.
time in my life.
Serious?
Your radar would indicate that storm, as you had
That's Commander
predicted,
Light.
the tracking of that would
Mr.
eventually
Light brought me
touch
down
Red
here.
Wing, and that's about where we are now.
But you've got more money than
But I will
Campbell
tell you
than
that
me.
storm. Come back
He invited me down a
to
couple
Weather
times. He
One.
gets those
It is
complimentary,
that storm
once in a
has
while, complimentary
massive
meals.
Extension, not only
a
from
nice
Goodhue
steak dinner.
County, where we have the Doppler indicated tornado warning still here until
Well,
6:30.
anyhow,
But see that
even with
flashing
an
gold
EF2
box?
tornado,
That's the new severe
this
thunderstorm
building would
warning.
probably be
And
safe,
in
right?
The severe
Oh, no
thunderstorm
doubt.
warning, I will tell you. Okay, so you go special weather statement, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning. That's how the lineage works in terms of severity. Special weather statement being the lowest, obviously. This severe thunderstorm warning that's flashing in gold.
Yeah.
There's a difference here because this is a severe thunderstorm warning with the
Yeah,
specific
they really upgraded
words
this
in
down
it.
here.
Considerable
It used to be like
damage.
10, 15 years
So
ago.
winds at 60 to 70 miles per hour.
Well, you
with
can
large
see out
hail.
there
I just
to our
told you we
south
had reports of
where it
Rice
was.
and Steele County with golf ball size hail.
You can see it here
60,
to
70 mile per
our
hour
north
winds,
and west,
golf ball size
clear
hail.
skies, right?
This, my
See that up
friends,
there?
is a
That's north and
nasty storm.
northwest.
As it continues
To
to
our
follow on the heels
southwest,
of the Doppler indicated
where they're
tornado
talking
warning
about
that is
Wanamingo,
full
etc.
here in black
Should we try a different
outline
channel, or you going to stay with Ian Leonard?
Goodhue
Yeah,
County,
try a
putting
different
that
channel. We're
website.
gonna.
I just want to give you an
Here,
update there. We
head
do have
out.
a new tornado warning. It is.
Oops. I do now.
A little bit of water here, though. There will be some localized flooding from this, obviously.
Cox Internet for $50 a month.
Even like that tornado report, I think, is from an old one, but the storm reports across southern Mille Lacs County near the Greenbush area. One report of a frontal cloud there. Some hail reports just south of St. Cloud with the storm that pushed through. That had a tornado
there's supposed to be another,
but a lot of these were about
another storm coming later tonight, possibly a little pop-up storm. But once this dark cloud on our left clears Minnesota, we'll be out of the woods, so to speak, right? That is a dark one, though, right?
It is dark.
Whoa, we can look over there.
Freeborn counties. This one goes until 7 o'clock. So coverage continues now as we have a new tornado warning. Now I'm looking at the radar. One of the things that is not obvious to me is a hook within this storm. So this already tells me that the concern is more so for a weak spin-up tornado within this line, but still a tornado is a tornado and it needs to be taken seriously. So let's focus in on the area that I'm watching. This is going to be pretty much just southwest of Highway 22 there, just toward the north of Keister, moving towards Alden as well, and that's going to continue to move toward the north and east. Once again, these storms are moving pretty quickly at 50 to 60 miles per hour or so. Hail is also in this storm as well. We're looking at least $50 size hail. So with that, I've been looking at the winds, trying to investigate this. This area is really where I've been watching. I think some of the strongest winds pretty much right here. You see a little bit of red, a little bit of your green kind of married up. But the reality is, once again, it's a little tough. This is not one of those slam dunk like, oh yes, the tornado is right here. But what I do know is that this is the area that we're watching with the rotation. So pretty much Highway 22 and I-90, and that's going to continue to move toward the north and east at about 60 miles per hour.
I-90,
so you know what we're going to do. If you've been watching, we're putting the tracker
well, it's all south of us,
we're going to talk
folks.
about who is in the path of this. So let's go north and east at 60 miles per hour.
Let's
here.
Just see the final north
to
and
see
east. What
communities
Probably
are in the
Albert
path of this. So Walters, you've got 7 minutes. That center of spin is going to be pretty much right on top of you. Alden at 6:42.
Aiden,
Manchester at
Albert Lee.
6:49. Should it hold together? We get to Albert Lee as we go through about
Oakland,
the next 20-ish minutes, 22 minutes. Clark's Grove at 6:56.
If you live in the town,
at 7:01, then Oakland by 7:05. So again, a new radar indicated tornado warning that we are tracking between now and 7 o'clock. These are for our neighbors and friends across much of southern Minnesota. That's going to move toward Albert Lee, pretty much along and just south.
All right, well, we think we're out of the woods in terms of Ramsey County and, of course, our neighboring counties of Hennepin and Dakota. So we are going to sign off, and if something happens and we try to, we'll join you back in. But thank you for joining us on our Tornado 911 special, Joe.
Thank you, backseaters. We appreciate you riding along with us. It's been fun and a pleasure.
This is mainly going to
go enjoy your night. I don't think when do the Wild play next?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow Timberwolves are off too?
I think they're off, but they're up 3-1 as well.
Yeah, so we got
this storm. The velocity again. Chris has been watching.
And by the way, if you haven't already, please
see the reds and the greens together. That could mean
follow
some rotation is not as tight.
The main page of the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office
has dropped
with Steve Linders authoring some amazing writing. Great stuff that you won't get here normally. So go ahead and flip over to that page. And if you really want to, the other thing is Storm Chaser Brandon Coptic. Switch over to Brandon Coptic.
This part of the state, so I want to also include
YouTube. He's got probably 8,000 people watching him right now on YouTube.
That flashing warning.
Switch over. He's a good friend and
the northernmost one
very professional.
Goodhue County and
definitely.
We are signing off en route to home base.
So there's some good.